Nashville. What's up, guys? What's up, man? Peace to the city and peace to the planet. To our YouTube channel. What's up, YouTube? It's been a while. But guys, we did not forget about you. Shout out to all of our subscribers. Today's episode is a major episode, guys. As you can see, this man is surely a bucket getter. We are bringing to the Black Men Vent 2 platform, Nashville, a true NBA legend. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, he spent 11 seasons in the league, affectionately known as the Cat. As you can see, that left hand still works. It still works. He is currently a part of the Big 3 League with Ice Cube. And again, that left hand still works. Guys, we are proud, excited, and honored to bring to our platform former NBA legend, Mr. Cuttino Mobley. You are now listening to the Black Men Vent 2 podcast, the only Black father and son podcast in the state of Tennessee. We thank you for your listenership. Enjoy today's episode. All right, guys, we live, man. We back, guys.
Yes,
the
sir.
Black Men Vent 2 podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We're excited to be a part of you guys' new week, man. As we always say, we're the only Black father and son podcast.
Back up what you just say.
Only.
I like that,
man.
I like that.
Only Black father and son podcast in Tennessee, guys. Your favorite father and son podcast. Each and every week that you wake up, we dropping content, man. We got stories from a many of Black men, and we got a many more stories that we got to go get, man, as we aim to change the narrative behind Black men one episode at a time, guys.
Sir.
Have you heard a Black Man Vent today? Guys, I'm super excited about today's episode. This brother in front of me, I have been blowing his DMs up for probably the past month, and I know he probably got tired of it, but I am super excited to bring this brother on our platform. Shout out to, man, just all of the NBA greats, man. Whether you look at them big or small, all of these brothers have dealt with mental health in some shape, form, or fashion. And I'm excited to have the young brother that we have on our podcast today. I get to do my Shannon Sharp rendition, and I done took some notes. So we're gonna run these notes down about this brother real quick, man. We got a brother from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, born and raised. He is a 6'4"
brother of love.
Come on now,
6'4".
11 seasons in the NBA, guys. He went to college at Rhode Island University, second round draft pick in the 1998 draft by the Houston Rockets. He was on the 1999 All-Rookie second team in 1999. He played for the LA Clippers, Sacramento Kings, the Orlando Magic, the Houston Rockets. He spent the most time of his career with the Houston Rockets. Career stats being 16 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, 2.7 assists, shooting 43% from the field and 38% from three. So you know this left.
That should have been better, but that was my fault.
I got you. Guys, Nashville, you've seen this brother. He has played with names like Peja Stojakovic, Chris Webber, Steve Francis, Yao Ming, the list goes on. You've seen him play against names like Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace to the great, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and more. He's been a part also of the Ice Cube Big 3 League, where he was balling in there too. I watched that too. So, guys, super excited to present to some, introducing to others, the left-hand assassin himself, otherwise known as the Cat, my good friend, good brother, Mr. Cuttino Mobley. How was that intro, brother?
That's great, man. I appreciate it. You know, I get embarrassed. I get a little embarrassed. I think more in my life, the older I get, the more I don't want to talk about myself, but how can we improve life, right? That's amazing, that there's accolades. I'm still hard on myself, right? And there's still things that I thought I could have did better.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Is what I'm training my son to do. And right now I'm training my son, who's 14, I don't train him so much in basketball as I do how to control his emotions.
Good.
And I think the more you can control the emotion when you're doing something, the greater you will become at it, at that
Absolutely.
particular endeavor. So,
Absolutely.
you know, my stepfather passed away when I was a rookie. So he was my oracle. He was my muse.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
He was a lot more intelligent than my father. My father was amazing as well, but my stepfather was well read.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And so, you know, it's when you lose a mentor like that, that gives you all the answers. You know, now you got to start making up your own tests and making sure that the questions that you do ask the universe, you have the answers for.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's a very serious thing, you know, that we have to, at a very young age, pay attention to. Not only do you have the answers, but what questions are you asking?
Absolutely.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Man.
Facts.
Important stuff right there. And Mr. Mobley, to our audience as well, we'll get more into naturally the dynamics of everything you just said, man, at least, especially from the father, stepfather side of things, how you navigated through that, and so much more, man. Again, brother, we thank you for being a part of the Black Men
Yes,
Mentor
sir.
podcast.
Yes, sir.
Let's dive in, guys. For those that Mr. Mobley do not know you, can you introduce yourself, man? Naturally, where you're from. How was it going through those Philadelphia streets, man? I know
Man.
Philly is one of the rough cities, man, that if you're blessed to make it out, man, then you know that's a great thing. So talk about
great
your
sports fans, man.
Absolutely.
Great sports fans.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Talk about your upbringing, Mr. Mobley. Talk about your family, man. We off the air talked about the kids and just the dynamics there. So let's get into family conversation. Your upbringing up in Philly, man. Talk about those Rhode Island University days, and we'll make a good conversation out of it as we get this podcast started.
Yeah, no, well, listen, you kind of told the audience exactly in a roundabout way who I am, where I'm from. I'm from Philadelphia. I was blessed to have four parents. You know, two amazing fathers. My stepfather passed away my rookie year, like I said earlier.
Right.
My dad's still alive. My dad's about 76 now.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know, my stepmother passed away in 2019. So both my step parents passed away. My mom, my dad's still here. My mom lives in Houston. I was close to all four of my parents.
Cool.
You know, I'm close to my mother. I'm close to my father. You know, I was blessed, man. I was blessed to have an amazing family, a lot of support. And I think, you know, in having that, I didn't see my mom, my dad bickering. I didn't see them arguing. You know, I went over to my dad's house because my dad, my stepmom, I went to my mom's house and my stepdad. And there was my step parents, unlike a lot of people, my step parents loved me like I was theirs. Because I was, right? So I didn't know anything different until I went out there into the real world where, you know, some men don't want to help women take care of their kids, or some women don't want men to have kids. And I love people. I love kids. I love, you know, if I can inspire and help, I think that's what, you know, God put us on earth for. I'm not a religious person. I'm very spiritual.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, you know, I'm not perfect. I try my best to not only teach, but I try my best to learn while I'm teaching.
Right.
Because everybody's story is different.
Yes.
Right.
So
Right.
true.
So me trying my best to find that common bond or denominator within inside the story that's been presented in front of me, you know, is super interesting to me. Because I believe in, even if I'm talking to a homeless person, I'm talking to a person that looks purple. God put you in front of me for a reason.
That's right.
So
That's
to understand exactly what my purpose is from there.
Absolutely.
I believe that, Mr. Mobley, with everything that's in me, man, because if we say we believe in God, we got to know that He has more power than we do. So when He allows us to connect dots with people and we go through this life and we cross paths with people, I truly believe there's a purpose in all of that. And there's always a lesson in there. Even with this podcast today, I don't know what lesson I'm going to gain from you, or maybe you even gain from us, but I know with this time that we're spending together that I'm going to gain something from Mr. Mobley. And I appreciate you, like my son said, again, for being on our podcast, man. But let me ask you this question, Mr. Mobley. So growing up in Philly, man, how was basketball able to show you some things that go on in the real world once you got to be in the real world. You know, growing up playing basketball, you're still sheltered with family, you're still sheltered by parents, this, that, and the other. But you can learn some things in basketball that will translate into the real world. So what are some of those things you learned growing up playing basketball that translated to the real world once you became a man and started doing your own thing?
That's an interesting question. I think you are most qualified to coach the person that you once were.
Wow, I like that. That's good. I like that.
So and learning all those different experiences, basketball, like the ball, I always say the ball is the world. And in some quarters you will be up 10, up 20, up 5, down 2. And now, God gives you certain timeouts. God gives you certain rest periods. God gives you a lot of these different things that equates to life that you have to learn how to not only coach, but how to play it.
Yes.
Right. And then, you have the other 4 individuals that's on the court with you. You have the coach, the assistant coaches, you have the referees, you have the opponents trying to stop you. And that's life. Right. So now, you go to the part of the garden of life is watered by your focus. Right. So what are you focusing on? Right? So if I have trouble here and then I say, you know what, these people aren't whatever, and then I go over here and it's trouble there, it's not so much as the people as it is your focus, your philosophy of life. So, I teach my son that when you're playing in a game, the first thing you try to master is your body language, your emotions. Right. So there's one of the great philosophers back in the day. I don't know if it's Epictetus or Seneca, but he said, "True man is when you learn how to create the monster within, and the ultimate man is the person who knows how to control him."
My. And look, and you just said something because I know I heard you say you're religious, but you're not. No, you're not religious, but you're spiritual. Well, from your spirit, you just spoke something strictly from the word, where the word says when it talks about how what you just said, how it can translate into just manifest into a real deal, man. And the fact that that's true, man. How do people get that focus if they don't have it?
Again, I can't give you something you don't want. Right. Just like anything, a lady wants, I want to be married, I want this, that, whatever. I may give it to you. The universe may give that to you, but you're not ready. So the reason why you're not ready is because you don't want it at the moment. Or you may not need it at that moment.
Man, that is needed.
All right. You don't need it. You may want it, but you don't need it at that moment because you're not ready. Right. So how do you get it? I think in any of us, is not rushing. We're not rushing life, but understanding when things come to you that it doesn't have to be as complicated or expedited, meaning fast, as you may want it to be. Sometimes it takes a while, gumbo, right? Sometimes it takes a while, that turkey. Sometimes it takes a while. Right? So, God, you ask for a cake and God just gives you the flour, the butter, the batter, the this, the that. And then now you sitting there, he said, I gave it to you. Like, no. Hey, no. He said, listen, the best way to eat this cake is if you make it.
Man. And he gave you what you asked for.
He gave you what you asked. He gave you all the ingredients.
Man. And again, what I was trying to allude to earlier in the first question, man, is that thing about, you said control. And when we are spiritual, you have a thing called self-control. And when you can master self-control, man, you really can control certain things that come your way and how you respond to certain things. Well, man, I truly believe, man, that if we could just get us as brothers to understand that. Here's another thing too, is that when you got a support system like you had, sometimes we don't utilize that support system. What do you say to brothers out here that have the support system but don't want to utilize it? Because you just said, I give you the ingredients, but you're not using them. In other words, I give you a brand new Mercedes and it's got full of gas and it got the keys in it, but you scared to drive it. How we do that? How do we get to the point we say, you know what? I'm going to use what's in front of me. I'm going to leverage the people that God has put in my life.
Recording stop. You want to?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So again, like I said before, you're not trying to speed up somebody else's message that God's given them.
Mhm.
All thing you can do is, you know, when you see an opportunity to help, not only where you are asked, but where you are needed in life. So it's not for me to shove it down your throat,
Right.
right?
Right.
So water's always there.
Mhm.
Water don't go searching for people.
Mm.
People get the water when they need it.
Come on. Yes, sir.
That's how amazing God is.
Yes, sir.
Oxygen
Come
is
on.
there,
Come on, man. Yeah.
right? So it's not for me to push myself onto you, but when you need me, when you need me, I'm there for you.
Yes.
That's the genuine part of life.
I like that.
The more I learn, okay, I've talked to you on a Monday and I may not see you for a year.
Right.
That don't mean I stop being who I am, that God gave me the purpose to be.
Mhm.
Just because you not listening, it
Mm.
may not be your time.
So
But
true.
I got to keep getting better and better as not only a teacher, but a student in life.
Yeah.
So the next time you hit me, I got something else for you.
Wow. I like that.
Right? So now what you are is now you're more privy. You're accepted. You're more, I need it more now. So now guess what? I ain't got one now, and I got 2 or 3 for you. So now guess what? You missed the first one. Now you ready for the first one now? Guess what? God gonna bless you with 3 because guess what? I've educated myself even better. I changed my delivery. So now when you come, now you're like, wow, I not only needed the first one, but the second one and the third one throughout that year that I've, hid from you. These things happen too. So now you gave me the answer for 2 and 3. I appreciate you. Right. So it's not for you to push it down their throat. It's just for you to be consistent within oneself.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
you come back,
Yes, sir.
right? It's not I told you so.
Yes, that's facts.
Something.
Yes. So
Yeah.
true. So
Yep.
true. Man, I like that.
Mr. Mobley, man, I
Yeah.
definitely wanted to talk about again the dynamics of the family structure that you had growing up versus the family structure that you have now. First things first, as Black men, we always get stereotyped that we're not in the house anymore. We're not in families. We're not being the protectors, the providers. Some cases that may be true. Some cases, is stereotypical, right? Talking about your upbringing, man, you said you were blessed with 4 parents naturally. So that gives me the understanding that there was a co-parenting situation there. We get this term baby daddies, baby mamas, man, all this type of stuff. Can you answer to our audience how the dynamic was growing up in a co-parenting situation, if you will? And now you mentioned with us as well, both on and off the edit, you're a single dad. So what was those dynamics growing up? Those adjustments, man, going through your adolescent years, through your teenage years, balancing both levels of pairs of parents, if you will, and then growing up naturally being the single dad right now. How are you able to kind of navigate and balance those things, man, from what you went through then and then naturally catering and loving your kids that you have today?
Yeah, that's listen, that question is a very broad but yet much needed question for a lot of people. I think first is what you have to do is you have to learn who you are as a single parent, as just a human being, period, right? Like no kids or with kids.
Right.
When I was growing up, my mother had me with 19 years old. My dad was 24. He was a street dude, right? He was in jail before I was born a lot. He wasn't as educated. My stepfather was educated, was a Marine, a cook, a businessman. And my stepmother was educated and she worked for the government. So everybody had their own little piece of life. And stepmother, she got molested when she was younger. My mom was called ugly when she was younger. My dad was getting shot at and whatever. My stepfather. So they all had their own childhood kind of traumas.
Right.
One thing that listen, it may have happened, but I don't remember none of it, is that they didn't pour it on to me. So it was a lot of, you know, I'm going to my dad's in the summer, I'm going to my mom's. You know, I stay with my mom and my stepfather in you know, school time. And then when I started to play ball, I wasn't even around my mom or my dad or my stepmom. I was playing ball with my friends a lot. So you get 14, 15 years old, we traveling a lot with our friends to go hoop and play ball. You know, and, you know, so, you know, I think not having negative connotations growing up and not understanding them, put it that way. It didn't influence me to think, it didn't influence me to think negative getting older, because the older I got, the more I saw before I had children of relationships with other people. It surprised me how people would act, whether it was a stepmom, a stepdad, or a girl meeting a guy with kids or a guy meeting a girl with kids. It surprised me because I got so much love. So I'm like, what's the big deal?
Right.
Yeah. So then, you know, when I became a parent myself, you know, and having a son at a younger age playing the NBA, just starting the NBA, my oldest son's mother and I bumped heads because we were young.
Yes, sir. Yes,
She's
sir.
one of my best friends now. But at that young, vulnerable age, we're trying to find ourselves.
That's right.
Right. So you don't really know, your son doesn't really know who he is outside of who you are. Right. Because I don't know you, but you have never been anywhere on your own for a long period of time to really find out who I am. Right. Because God put you in this environment, and what happened was, unbeknownst or no excuse or not purposely, what you did as a dad is you gave him everything you had.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? Whether it's mentally, this, the mom, that you are molding its preconceived notions of my world.
Right.
He's still in your world.
Yes.
Right? It's a good thing you guys are close. But a lot of people put their kids, whether you're on drugs, whether you this, abusive, but you put them in your world.
Yes, so true.
Right?
So true.
So until you branch out to that, we don't really know, okay, this is because we cap ourselves. Okay. So like, you know, it's your son, it's you, and then your father, he caps you. Right? Because he's not going around the world and doing all that stuff, because we didn't have the money, we didn't have the experience, we have none of those things. You're doing exactly what my environment is. Right? So that's how we mimic each other, because there's no one else to like mimic. Like this is all I got. Right? So I took it upon myself to say, let me become a better version of me. So then I can give my kids the courage to do more, right? Because as scary as it is, my son's 14, my 24-year-old son, my other 24-year-old son, it's going one day where they're going to be gone, doing their own thing, having their own family.
That's
you know?
right. That's right.
And I just want to be a part where you're happy to come back to the house. Right? Because that's my job, is to make sure that you see everything. Because just because you're my son, don't listen to some people, you know, again, that's more religion, but just because you're my son don't mean that you wasn't here before I was. I don't know those things. Right? So you could have been here before, and then God gave you another chance. Now I'm your father, but guess what? You've been put on earth to do something totally different. But I may not have experienced that thing. But that's what you're here for.
Yes, sir.
Right? So when you have these little things in your head when both of you were younger, and it's like, well, I should have this, I should have, but you've been capped. You understand? So what I do now is I try to read as much as possible. I try to understand as much as possible in life. I try to understand as much as possible in life. So then I can not only teach, but learn more of who I am while I'm here on earth. And the co-parenting part is not easy. It's not easy, right? Because it's one thing it's two different things that I try to teach my kids. What are your intentions in life? And then how to set boundaries. We don't teach our kids that, right? Listen to what I tell you. You go to school, listen to what I tell you. Everything's obey. Where do I learn boundaries? Right? Oh, give him a hug. right? What if I don't want to hug them? What if spiritually I don't feel them?
Mm.
You know what I mean, because that's not embarrassing them, that's embarrassing you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all these different types of tricks and the intentions. Oh, I'm gonna do this for you. Let me clean up the house. Because if I clean up the house, then they're gonna do that. Or if I be nice to them today, I get to do this. Right. So what are your true intentions in life, right? Right. So it's so many little tricks that we have to learn just as human beings in general.
Yes,
So
sir.
true.
Yes,
To
sir.
become better.
So true. And I like what you said, man, because I remember growing up, and you know, I'm old school. So growing up in that era, it was a lot of just, you know, you spoke when you spoke, you speak when you were spoken to, and the type, yeah. And y'all didn't, I hope y'all saw that. Y'all didn't get a chance to see that, did you? That's a good thing. Good, that's a great dad right there.
Yeah. My daughter, she came over to get her book back. She's going back to her mom's.
Praise God, praise God. But yeah, man, it's just one of them things where growing up in the 60s and 70s, you know, it was a different world then. It's a different world now. So even the way we raise our kids are different, because me and him talk about it a lot. He has a son now. And I talk about how when I grew up, how my dad raised me and how I raised him. But one thing I did, I told him, and I truly mean this, and he know I mean this, that my dad wanted me to be better than him. I want them to be better than me. And I want my grandson to be better than you. You know what I'm saying? I want, because you wanted to keep climbing. You wanted to keep climbing. And like you say, you don't want that cap to stop. It might have stopped with me, but I want to see you reach other boundaries that I didn't reach. Even Jesus said this in his word. He said, you would do greater things than I did. And what he was talking about, you're going to be able to spread the word because I ain't got much time. So y'all will spread it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I like what you said, because we're supposed to be better and trying to make others better. And that's what God put us here. Part of our purpose is serving each other, man. And again, we appreciate you being on here with the message you've given us thus far. I know we probably close to a commercial break real quick.
Hey, man, guys, Black Men Venture, man, we are here, man, with the great Mr. Cuttino Mobley, man. Make sure that you guys lock in on this episode. Right after this commercial break, y'all know how we rock, man. We get into the mental health side of Mr. Mobley and everything that goes along with his mental health story that he's dealt with throughout his life, man. This is the Black Men Vent 2 podcast.
Yes, sir.
What's up, guys? What's up? Peace to the city and peace to the planet. You're listening to the baddest podcast in Nashville, the only podcast that gives you a radio show feeling with a podcast undertone. We are Black Men Vent 2, and we are proud to announce, as you can see, that we have brand ambassadors that are a part of our movement. Yes, guys, Black Men Vent 2 has 5 women and 5 men who have joined us and believe in us just as much as we believe in ourselves. Their job is to make sure that they carry the mission and carry the message of doing what we're trying to do in our city of Nashville, and that is make uncomfortable conversations comfortable, aiming to change the narrative of Black men one episode at a time. We are super excited to introduce to you guys the brand ambassadors of Black Men Vent 2. Stay tuned going into the new year, because we got big things planned with our new family. Thank you. back, man. We back, guys, man. Hope you guys enjoyed that commercial break. Pops, man, if they just not joining us.
Hey, man, what they not understanding, I hope they're catching it now. You never know what angle we coming from.
Absolutely.
You never know.
Absolutely.
I didn't even know this one was coming. I appreciate my son being so active on social media. But one thing I told him, I saw this guy play, and you know how what really made me pay a lot of most of my attention to you? Because I grew up being a San Antonio Spurs fan. So you know, when Houston came to town, yeah, I saw you, man. And some nights I didn't like you, but I like you now.
I appreciate it. I've been working on myself.
Yeah,
there you go. Guys, we're excited, man, to have none other than Cuttino Mobley,
yeah, man,
who spent 11 seasons playing in the NBA, man. Excited to have him on the Black Men Vent 2 podcast. If you're just not joining us, man, something's wrong with you. Rewind the tape, man, and lock in on this brother and his.
And look, Cuttino proves my point, man. It's rare, very rare, that you see a left-hander that's not good at some sport.
Yeah.
At some sport, man, baseball, basketball, golf, man, these dudes just got a natural thing that goes on with left-handers, man. But I just had to get that in. I grew up with a guy that was left-handed, man, and he was the coldest dude in our neighborhood, man.
I was quarterback all state. I was everything.
Look at
that. I boxed.
Yeah.
Tennis. I had everything.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah. You just helped prove my point, brother. I appreciate it.
You know who else was like that?
Who's that?
I think he's the best I've ever seen in my life at everything he does. Nick Van Exel.
Nick Van Exel, former Laker. Yeah.
Everything he done.
Lefty. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Bowling, it didn't matter.
Can he get out in bowling?
Oh, it's incredible.
Wow.
Incredible.
Man. Well, man, let's get into the episode, because we'll get into a whole different conversation behind that bowling thing, man. We do some bowling as well, but
I love it.
Guys, again, Cuttino Mobley, man. Excited to have him be a part of our platform. Let's get into the episode, man. Let's get into Nashville, to our audience near and far. What we get into with our podcast. We're a mental health based podcast, and opinionated based podcast. We're just here to hear you as guests and hear you guys vent on our platform. Mr. Mobley, what would you like to vent about today, brother, on Black Men Vent 2?
Listen, I would want people to read more. I would want people to really be in touch with their emotions more.
Mm-hmm.
To understand that, see, people read. It's the weirdest thing, especially with social media. We all go through things in life. There's a stigma about Black men, which, and I don't want to quote her like she's some, Jesus or whatever it is, but Oprah was just saying on CDC that we the most involved parents in this country, Black men. And I already knew that, right? I see it first. I give us a fair chance, right? Don't use media, don't use feminists, don't use all these things to debunk us and what we do as individuals. Tell it what it is, that you wanted the Black man out of the household, years ago, right? You wanted Uncle Sam to be more of your papa, right?
Come on.
Tell it like it really is. And give us a fair chance. Let us start at the let us start on the block the same as you. Don't be 10, 15 miles up the street and tell us we got to catch up, right? And when we do catch up, now you put another hurdle in front of us. Now we got to jump over it. So it's like, when you see people read people, but little do you know, it's based on your emotions and how deep your interpersonal knowledge is when you being able to read that person, right? So now if you read books, your way of reading a person increases in a more deeper way of understanding life better. So if I've been abused, or if my mom wasn't, nothing, or my dad was this, unless I really work on myself and read more and experience more, I'm only going to give you emotions. I'm not giving you rash or logical feedback.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of people haven't worked on themselves enough to where when I'm computing something, the information back to the world is not biased. It's logical. It's rational. It's right. It's not emotionally driven.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And whatever we do, right? Like I remember when I was dating this girl and we would watch TV and the guy on the TV would be cheating and whatever. And then she started getting red or she started getting all pissed off. And I'm looking, I said, why does that bother you so much? What is that bothering you for? Because see, now this is your depiction on men in general. Meanwhile, I'm a good one.
So true.
So you're not 100% over here mentally. Right? So you have things that you need to fix before you can even commit to any type of psychological relationship with another individual. We're not talking about a physical.
Right.
We're talking about an intellectual one. Right. And a lot of people are not intellectually compatible because we have so much childhood trauma that they're just looking in the beginning at the trailer. They fall asleep on the movie.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I like that. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to hold on to that one, man.
It's all good.
Yeah, I'm going to hold on to that one, man. That is the God knows truth,
true.
man. Yeah. Man. I'm just sitting here thinking about, so when you talk about, I've been hearing you say this, and I've heard you say it a couple times during this episode, self-development. With a busy dad like yourself, because I know my life has been busy up to about March when I changed professions. But when you trying to get self-development time in, where do you find the time to get the self-development in? If you running a practice and dropping kids off, then you're taking care of your daily to-do list, man. And maybe the wife or the girlfriend or the mother might have something. Whatever the case may be, your day gets busy. When do you find time, Mr. Mobley, for self-development? And how much time do you spend, say on a daily doing, self-development?
It's all day.
Gotcha.
I wake up at 5 o'clock, 4:30 sometimes, 5 o'clock every single morning. Right then and there, I'm listening to positive affirmations. I'm listening to certain things that's going to motivate me to be the best version of myself.
Got it.
I don't just get up and listen to negative stuff. I don't do that. Even my kids, since we're younger, when we get in the car to go to school, we listen to classical music.
Come on.
Right. So I don't want the frequencies or the energy to be able to pull us in. You got to have a chance when you get to school as a little kid.
Man, say that.
Have a chance. A lot of parents I know, a lot of Black parents, you're going to all yelling and rushing and this and that. And it's like, well, because you're not the child, but you didn't prepare your day. You don't prepare your day on Monday when it's Monday. You prepare your day on Sunday for Monday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So that's where your frustration at. You mad at the person that's at that light where you're supposed to be there at 3 o'clock and you leave at 2:30. Meanwhile, it's 30 minutes away. So you don't know what's going on.
Come on.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So for me, and I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but when you start playing basketball, you don't start shooting threes.
Thank you.
You start with the basics. Small goals makes a person successful.
Wow.
That's all. And I always tell people this all day long. Reps kill doubt.
Reps
Kill doubt. If I'm every single day, or as soon as I wake up, I meditate, I pray, I read.
Yeah.
If I do that every single day for a year, I promise you, everything will be better. Basketball is easy. The game of life is hard.
Yes.
You understand? Because see, basketball has a certain amount of rules. You can only play on the court. You got a ball and you got this. See, life can throw you all types of stuff.
Absolutely.
So what you have to do, guys, in life, you got to make something your ball. You got to make something your court. You got to make something the rim. You got to dose how you simplify it first. And say, I'm not going out of this. This is the game I'm playing.
Right.
Then when you master that, Then you can move on to something else because that gave you a message to be able to conquer that. That's how that works.
Yeah, I
But
like
if you
that.
put in life
Yeah.
and it's like it's
Yeah.
football, it's basketball, it's soccer, and everything like that, you don't know what object to use. We don't know. No, because you're not practicing the fundamentals of life.
Fundamentals. Yes, sir.
When you practice the fundamentals of life, life becomes easier. I'm not saying life won't be hard while you're going through it. But the reason why people look at us and say, wow, they make it look easy. Yeah, no. We make hard look easy because we work on the small goals every single day. Life is hard for a billionaire. Life is hard for a millionaire. Life is hard for that guy over here. Life is hard. Life is hard. You want to make hard easy.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna stop being hard.
Yes.
I don't know nobody that's gonna live forever. Jesus ain't even do it. Right? You'll have your time. Life is risky. Life is so risky. Guess what? You're not getting out alive. How about that?
Yeah. You're right.
So you got to figure out, how do I work within these confinements? What am I going to do? I got to get back to the basics.
Yes.
Okay, waking up early. Okay, exercising. Okay, reading. Okay, doing this. Okay, doing. Keep it
so
simple.
right. You
Don't add
keep it
too
simple.
much.
Look, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Yeah.
Wow, man. I love that, man, because and you said it. You watch successful people and they make life look so it's just like when you're a kid and we watch, I'm probably older than you, but I watched Kareem and I watched Mike growing up, and I watched George Gervin and all them folks. Then I go outside. I'm like, wait a minute, man. I just did the same thing he did, but it's not going in like it went in for him. But like you said, but that's because I just looked at something and thought I could do it right off the rip when it takes work, man. And what you're saying is something that we sometimes don't like doing, and that's putting in the work, man.
Repetition kills doubt. Repetition kills doubt. I'm telling you right now, because you're going, I don't care who you are. Okay. I've been through it. Do I get nervous in a game? To shoot the three, to do this, to do that? Yeah, you get nervous. But the more you do it, the more reps you put up, the more work you put in, the scale of life will balance out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it just will.
I told you I was gonna learn something from you, man. And that repetition kills doubts. There's two of them I gotta hold on to. I gotta hold on to that one. Yeah.
Mr. Mobley, I did want to ask you, man, again, you had a great career, man, 11 seasons being a part of the NBA. What is the disconnect that, what would I say, the common population has with people that are of higher status? And what I mean by that is social media can make things look like what they're not. Make the glamour, the fortune, the fame look to us like, wow, we want that. But to you guys, y'all just want to go to Walmart and go get your food, get whatever you need and walk out, but you can't do it all the time. So what is the common disconnect, or what is the disconnect that the fans, if you will, of the NBA players, why is there a disconnect naturally? We look at y'all, like I said, in a different light, instead of looking you guys as you got a right arm, I got a right arm, you got a left arm, I got a left arm. Why do we have that disconnect in between those two levels of people, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's just about just not knowing the individual. Listen, we all men here.
Yes, sir.
When he met your mother and when you met your child's mother, it was a certain butterflies, and I was excited. I don't know who they are, and you get to meet them. And then when you meet them, not saying you don't love them no more, but it's like, okay, well, I know.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So it's me. I'm at Walmart every day. I bump into Nick Young. I bump into Paul Pierce. We do regular stuff. We do regular stuff with regular guys, right? It's like, a lot of my guys I grew up with, I'm Cat. I'm just Cat. I'm not, Cuttino. I'm like, that's fam. That's just, what I mean? That's just, do they feel proud? Yeah. Me and Kevin Hart grew up together, right?
Wow.
Grew up in the same neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Will Smith, Kobe, Rasheed Wallace, Alvin Williams, all of us grew up same city. Coast. So it's like, do you love seeing that they're, popular? Yes. But at the end of the day, it's like the reason why is because you don't have access to them. Think about it. If I give you millions of dollars in the beginning, yeah, you're gonna be happy as hell. But if you know you can get millions of dollars, are you gonna be excited about it when you get it? No, because you know you can get it all the time. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So that's just all. It's just anything in life, man. I stick this phrase to you can keep. You're only as faithful as your options.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Understand?
Yeah.
So the excitement dies out. That's just what it is. You should be excited every day to become better.
Thanks.
Right? Like, be more eager for the right things in life.
Absolutely.
Right? Better life, happier life, better family.
Yes.
Right? Don't let the candles on your cake outnumber your achievements.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Like,
wow.
Yes, sir.
The older we get, the more we should be saying to ourselves, you should be saying like, yo, listen, I love being a good person. I love serving.
Yeah, man.
That's what we're here for.
Yes.
We're here to serve. We're not here to take.
So true.
The only thing you should be taking is knowledge. And then once you get the knowledge, you're supposed to give it.
Serve it. Yeah.
That's the only thing we should be doing.
Yes, sir.
That's the only selfish thing in your life while you're on earth you should be doing is being able to take knowledge and give it away.
Absolutely.
And until we understand that purpose, you're just here.
Yeah. I like that, man.
Yeah.
And you know, so when you said take knowledge, that's one of the things I've gotten into is financial education. And I'm trying to be a part of educating our community about better ways where they can save and grow and protect monies, man, and giving them the information that was not privy to us when I was growing up. You know, when I was growing up, all I knew is get a credit. I ain't gonna say growing up. When I went to college, get a credit card and just charge all you want and just pay it when you can. Not understanding that minimum payment was going to be compounded, and next thing you know, compound interest is going to have me so deep in the hole that $500 that I charged is now $1,500. And how am I going to pay that? And I'm a kid in college, man, trying to make it through. Didn't understand about financial and how the finances work. So what are your thoughts on how we need to try to do better at educating our community about how to better manage their finances?
Listen, it's a very tricky thing because now you're going back to emotions of the individual. Right? It's like going into the supermarket in life. You're going into the supermarket, this is my metaphor. You're going into the supermarket hungry.
Lord have mercy. Bad thing to do. You right. I've done that before.
So if I've never had something, but I got unlimited credit cards, it's human.
Yeah.
You can be a rich little girl, boy, and your parents give you a credit card. You're going to buy stuff you don't want.
So true.
Don't need, put it that way.
So true.
But if you start to learn how to go into the supermarket of life full with a list, now the things that I do purchase, right, they don't rot.
Right. And you know, you said it earlier.
Yeah.
What you just said it goes back to the statement you made earlier. You got to be be purposeful and be intentional when you go into, when you're moving about in life. Got to be intentional and have a purpose. Because like you said, if I go into the grocery store back then, the life I was living, when I went into the grocery store, I probably had the munchies. So when I go up there now, ain't no telling what I'm getting ready to buy. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, if I had a list and been intentional, I might not have been as deep in the hole as I was. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a plan. And that's one thing they talk about in life sometimes. It's not that people don't have a plan. It's just that they fail to plan.
Not even that. I'm gonna give you one step farther. Everybody has goals.
Right.
Nobody has a plan.
No, I agree.
I got a goal,
but
I don't know how to execute.
How do I get to the goal? Yeah.
I don't have no plan.
Got you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? once you start, everybody got a goal, everybody got a dream,
Mm-hmm.
right? Are your dreams vivid?
Mm.
Right? You can have a dreams, but your dream is blurry.
Yeah, hey, like our screen was a little bit earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
Your wish has to become a desire,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah.
eager desire.
Yeah.
Because then now when it's that, when you hungry, when you thirsty, you're going to try your best to find food and to drink water. That's just what it is.
Man,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So true.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's just how life is. Your dream, it has to be vivid. I tell people all the time,
Mm.
post it on your wall when you go your mirror when you
Vision board.
Mm-hmm.
write it down.
Yeah.
Do those things. I promise to God, every single day, you not only just wish it, but put some action in it. I promise you, you can have it.
Absolutely.
Woo.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
Lord. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it, man. I like it.
Mr. Mobley, as we get ready to wrap up, man, we think it's a good time, man.
Oh,
Go ahead and
yeah.
present that question.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you, man, for being a part of
man.
our platform.
Thank you so much.
I can't say
Thank
it
you
enough.
so
My
much.
dad
Yeah.
can't say it enough.
Thank you so
I
much.
know, man, that our audience has gained something behind your
I have.
vent, behind emotions and how to deal with emotions, telling us that we need to read more, need to put more emphasis and intent behind knowledge-based components to make us better as Black men. So,
Yes.
guys, I hope you received that
Yes,
message on
Lord.
today.
Yes,
Mr.
Lord.
Mobley, we have a closing question that we ask every guest. We are a mental health based platform, and we put you in a scenario, Mr. Mobley, where there may be a young man or a young woman, because we're very multifaceted platform. Maybe a young man or a young woman that has heard your story, heard your vent, if you will, how you've dealt with mental health issues and how you've disciplined yourself well-roundedly enough to overcome those things. They're thinking about crashing out. That's the term newer term in terms of suicide. They're thinking about, man, jumping the bridge. They something just didn't click for them, right? Mr. Mobley, if you had 3 minutes with this young man, with this young woman, and you were the last voice, you were the last bit of influence for them before they decided to, hopefully not, but before they decided to commit that act, if you will, what is the message that you could give them right here in this moment in 3 minutes that would hopefully influence them, motivate them enough to not do what they're trying to do, but help them to understand, if I, Mr. Cuttino Mobley, went through what I went through and made it through, then you can do the same. What could you tell that young man or young woman in these 3 minutes to try to save their life right here?
Listen, that's a hard thing because they're at their breaking point. If I'm going to speak to them, first I want to understand exactly, because a lot of people, you have to understand this, a lot of people, they don't want to necessarily die. They just don't want to live the life that they're living.
That's good.
Okay. So, first I would remind them that we all are born to die. But until then, you have to find a way to truly live. And what does that mean for you?
Yes, sir.
Right? What does that mean for you? Right? Let's simplify things first, because everybody wants the mansion, everybody wants the car, everybody wants the money, but you got to understand, it's like being in the water and you cut and you're bleeding, right? What you attract? Shark.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow.
So you have to understand how to swim in life.
Wow.
Right? And not only just how to swim. See, a lot of people are treading water, but they don't see a destination. You understand? So one is when you get in the water, you got to understand where's the destination. Not where's the destination. I just don't want to tread. I want to be able to swim.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I want to be able to get from A to B and from B to C to D.
Yes.
Right? Because we all feel it. We all feel it in certain times. And then also too is to surround themselves around, because sometimes it's your family that puts you down. So surround yourself around that 1 or 2 or 3 individuals that are always positive. You got to really listen to your body and listen to your energy. So if that one person at the gas station, this person over here make you feel good, make sure you're around them as much as possible until you get to that point to where you are willing to walk yourself. Because right now you're crawling. Right? Metaphorically, you are crawling. So now how do I get to be able to stand up on my own?
Right. Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I would say not just that, but small goals makes you a master.
All goals.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Small goals makes you a master. Making your bed, reading 10 minutes when you wake up, listening to somebody that inspires you, listen to a song, those little things. And guess what? It's because they've been suffering for so long, what you say in 5 minutes ain't gonna help.
Absolutely.
But if you're consistent with them, I pride myself on every single day kissing and hugging my kids, not just my daughter,
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
sons.
Yeah.
Right.
That energy is
Yeah.
needed,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
right?
Mm-hmm.
People need hugs,
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
not just a quick one, a woo-sah one. No, don't let me go yet. Come on, I need
Yeah.
this, right? Transfer this energy a little bit. So
Mm-hmm.
it's tough out there, man. But you know, you have to understand your environment and where you're at, so then you can be able to maneuver from there, right? Because the first quarter is not the second quarter. Second quarter is not the third.
So
Third is damn sure ain't the fourth.
absolutely.
Right.
Once you understand that, you'll learn how to play the game.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
He's got them. He's just gonna put them on right away. This is the-
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. Nashville, man. Once again,
Nashville, y'all.
Cuttino Mobley.
Nashville.
man.
Yeah.
Again, brother, we thank you for being on the platform. For those that want to follow you, again, naturally, knowing your career and watching your career, but I was gravitated with your content that you post, man, especially when you be in the weight room, man, getting them good quotes out, man, and whatnot, pumping that iron. Can you let Nashville and our audience know where to find you on social media so that naturally we can be motivated, man, by what you do?
Yeah. So I'm just on Instagram mostly, TikTok too, but Instagram is Cuttino's Life, CUTTINOSLIFE, Cuttino's Life. Twitter is the same thing, Cuttino's Life, and then on TikTok it's just Cuttino Mobley.
Perfect.
Cool.
Perfect.
Cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I keep it simple, man. I'm here to help inspire, motivate,
Oh, yes.
push people to transform into their best self.
Yes.
Mr. Mobley, before we go, I personally just wanted to ask you a question, man. I am a huge fan of Kobe Bryant, and I literally watched the game on YouTube where you and Steve Francis did some damage to the Lakers at one point, man, during your career. I wanted to ask you a two-part question. Where were you at during that moment where the news had broke, if you will, of Kobe's passing? And then you being a Philadelphia guy, Kobe being a Philadelphia guy, going to Lord Marion and whatnot, what was one lesson that he gave you, man, prior to his passing that you've taken with you throughout the rest of your life? And we'll end it there.
Yeah, so I was it was a Sunday morning,
Yeah.
and I was actually supposed to go to the game because his daughter was playing. He coached his daughter at Sports Academy, which is like 30 minutes from where we used to live at. I was coming home from playing because I played early in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we played till like 10, and I was gonna go watch Kobe. And the news broke. I was taking out the trash. So Corey Maggette, Alvin Williams, Rasheed Wallace, everybody knew how close Kobe and I were.
Right.
Called me, and when they told me, I dropped to the ground and started crying hard because he's a brother. So Kobe, as you know, Kobe spoke. He was a philosopher as well, like myself. Read a lot, well read, and it hurt me big time because you know, Kobe was about to do some really, really amazing things, even better than basketball. And then the one thing Kobe used to always say to me is, "Don't cheat life."
Don't cheat life.
Yeah, don't cheat life. There's only one we know we have. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, touch the lines, basically.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Guys,
This has been
what you
great,
got,
man. Man, all I can say is, man, I just really appreciate you allowing, not feeling like this was not a platform that you could express yourself, and not a platform that you could enlighten the people, enlighten our audience.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like my son says all the time, that we're just trying to change the narrative of the black man one episode at a time. And I think that you helped us accomplish that goal today. So I want to say thank you.
Yes,
And
sir.
and in your playing days again, man, you were one of our nemesis, man. But hey, I love them Spurs, man, and I love to see y'all go back and forth, man, back in the day, man. So I wish I could have been at some of them games, but I watch a lot of them on TV. So for me to be on a podcast with you, man, it's kind of a surreal moment for me, man. So I appreciate you, appreciate your career, but I'm really appreciating the fact that you're trying to be a better man each and every day that you live, because that inspires me, even at my age. I'm 59 right now. But the way you talk just now, man, I think I got about 30 more years to contribute, man.
There you go. There you go. That's your purpose, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mobley, man, thank you again, brother. Nashville,
sir.
to our audience, man. This has been another great episode of the
Yes,
Black Men
sir.
Vent To podcast. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. You can do what you can, and you can't with what you can't.
Nashville, until next week, it's a wrap. Black man, don't get trapped.